Hi guys, welcome back. Today, we're looking at Genesis 19, Sodom and Gomorrah, and what happened to these cities. In Genesis 18, Abraham spoke to the Lord, and he basically understood that the Lord was going to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah. In Genesis 18, verse 20, the Lord tells Abraham his plans. It's because the outcry against Sodom and Gomorrah is great, because their sin is very grave. I will go down now and see whether they have done altogether according to the outcry that has come to me. If not, I will know. So Abraham intercedes and asks the Lord, "Would you also destroy the righteous with the wicked?" And Abraham begins to barter with the Lord. Originally, the Lord says that if he finds 50 people that are righteous, he will not destroy the place. Genesis 18, verse 26. So the Lord said, "If I find in Sodom 50 righteous within the city, then I will spare all the place for their sakes." So Abraham goes back and forth with the Lord, and eventually he gets him to agree to spare Sodom if he finds 10 righteous individuals there. Genesis 18, verse 32. Then he said, "Let not the Lord be angry. I will speak but once more. Suppose 10 should be found there," he said. "I will not destroy it for the sake of 10. So God's final decision was to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah because of their extreme wickedness. Although he previously agreed to spare them if he found 10 righteous souls, it was evident these 10 souls were not present in all of Sodom. Nevertheless, before the destruction, God sent 2 angels to visit Lot, who was living in Sodom. In Genesis 19, verse 1, now the 2 angels came to Sodom in the evening. Lot was sitting in the gate of Sodom. When Lot saw them, he rose to meet them, and he bowed himself with his face toward the ground. Initially, the intent of the angels was to spend the night in the open square, but Lot strongly urged the 2 strangers to rest at his home. The angels complied. The men of Sodom were wicked and had evil intentions against the strangers. Genesis 19, verse 4. Now, before they lay down, the men of the city, the men of Sodom, both old and young, all the people from every quarter, surrounded the house. They demanded that Lot let them have the angels, and tried to force their way into Lot's dwelling. The perverted men were clear about their intentions. Genesis 19, verse 5. And they called to Lot and said to him, "Where are the men who came to you tonight? Bring them out to us that we may know them carnally." So Lot offered his daughters to the men of Sodom in an attempt to protect the angels. Genesis 19, verse 8. "See now, I have 2 daughters who have not known a man. Please, let me bring them out to you, and you may do to them as you wish. Only do nothing to these men, since this is the reason they have come under the shadow of my roof." And the angels struck the men of Sodom with blindness. And the angels said to Lot, "Flee for your life. Flee to the mountains, you and all your family, lest you be consumed in the punishment." Genesis 19, verse 13. "For we will destroy this place, because the outcry against them has grown great before the face of the Lord, and the Lord has sent us to destroy it." But Lot's wife disobeyed the angel's instruction. Genesis 19, verse 26. But his wife looked back behind him, and she became a pillar of salt. So Lot and his daughters escaped the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah, which was destroyed by fire and brimstone from God. And Lot's daughters, after escaping, got Lot drunk and slept with him. And this is how Moab and Ammon were born, but that's another story. The exact location of the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah is not known, but they are believed to have been located near the southern end of the Dead Sea. This story is much like the story of the Levite and his concubine. If you haven't seen that video yet, consider watching it. I'll leave a link in the description box. If you found this story interesting, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to this channel. I'll see you next time. Stay blessed.